I still hear that sound when it rains hard, that ugly wet thud a fist makes when it hits bone. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just wrong. Yeah, that happened. And it happened to me on a Tuesday night that was supposed to be quiet, forgettable, just another drive home before my life stopped being normal. 3 minutes before the punch, I was thinking about takeout and whether my wife would be asleep when I got back, and 3 minutes after, I was face down on wet pavement with blood in my mouth, realizing how fast this country can decide who you are. You know what I mean? I didn't look like myself that night. Not the version people recognize from posters and podiums. I looked like the version they're comfortable judging: hoodie sweats, tired face, standing next to a car that suddenly didn't work anymore in a neighborhood that definitely wasn't built with people like me in mind. My car died on Mariner Ridge, one of those polished streets where the trees are older than most families and the houses look like they've never heard the word rent hazards, blinking like a weak pulse rain, tapping the hood. My phone dead because I forgot to charge it after a brutal day of meetings. I'd sent my security home earlier because I wanted one last quiet drive, one last moment where nobody was watching, nobody was asking, nobody was projecting their hopes or fears onto me. And yeah, looking back, that was naive, but I wanted to feel like a regular guy for 10 minutes. I popped the hood, stared into the dark like that would magically fix things. And that's when the patrol car rolled up, lights flashing, but no siren, that silent approach that tells you this isn't about help, this is about control. 2 officers stepped out. One young and unsure, the other older, heavier, wearing confidence like armor, the kind of cop who looks at the world and already knows who's guilty before anyone opens their mouth. "Step away from the vehicle," he barked, and I remember thinking how strange it is to be told to step away when you're already standing there with your hands out, palms open, rain soaking your sleeves. I tried calm because calm is what you learn to survive with. "Evening, officers, car died on me, phone's dead, I just need a jump." And the younger one hesitated, flashlight shaking like he wanted to believe me, but the older one didn't even slow down, his hand already hovering near his holster, eyes locked on my chest like he was waiting for it to move the wrong way. I said, "Step away," he snapped again, louder this time, and something in his voice told me he wasn't listening anymore. He was performing. I said it was my car, offered the registration, said my name halfway before he cut me off. "I don't care who you are," and that sentence hit harder than it should have because it was honest. He really didn't care. Not about facts, not about context, not about truth, just about the story he'd already decided to tell. I asked for a supervisor because I know the language, I know the rules, and that's when his face changed, like I'd insulted him personally, like dignity from someone who looks like me was an act of aggression. "Oh, we got a lawyer here," he sneered, and the rookie chimed in with, "Sir, just comply," voice cracking caught between what he saw and who he was standing next to. I laughed, just a little sharp and tired, because the idea that I wasn't complying while standing still with my hands visible was ridiculous, and that laugh was the spark. The older cop shoved me, not enough to knock me down, just enough to say I could, and my foot slipped on wet leaves. My balance went, and before I could even straighten up, his hand was on my wrist, twisting it behind my back, pain shooting up my arm, instinct kicking in as I pulled forward just to breathe, and right on cue he yelled, "Stop resisting," loud enough for the microphones, loud enough to write his ending. Then he swung full force, no hesitation, no warning, just anger and certainty wrapped in a fist. And the world tilted, rain and lights and pavement colliding as I went down, hard, cheek-scraping asphalt, blood flooding my mouth. A boot pressed into my back, pinning me there. "Stay down!" he shouted, breathing heavy, and for a split second the rookie froze. You could see it, the doubt. But it passed and the cuffs went on, cold and final steel biting into my wrists, as if that sound hasn't ended lives before. I told him he had no idea what he'd just done, not as a threat, just a statement, because in that moment I knew something he didn't, and he yanked me up by my hoodie zipper, tearing, exposing the shirt underneath, the one with my name on it, the one that usually comes with applause. He didn't see it at first, too busy patting me down like I was evidence, flipping open my wallet with that smug little grunt, expecting a fake ID, a record, anything to justify what he'd already done. My driver's license didn't move him, just another name, but then his thumb hit the second card, the official one, and I watched his eyes change as the words sank in, "Mayor-elect." And that was the moment everything went quiet inside him. The rookie leaned over his shoulder. "What does that say?" And the older cop whispered it like a confession he didn't want the world to hear. "It's the mayor." You'd think that's where it ends, right? Apology, uncuffing panic, but that's not how people like him work. Not when their whole identity is built on never being wrong. He leaned in close, voice soft, now greasy. We got off on the wrong foot. It's dark. You matched a description, and I stared at him. Jaw screaming, blood dripping, thinking how fast brutality turns into bargaining. He offered to make it go away. No paperwork, no press. Like justice was something you could negotiate in a whisper. And I laughed again, quieter, because the audacity was almost impressive. You think this is a negotiation, I asked, and his fear snapped back into anger. He shoved me into the cruiser, ignored the rookie's shaky, "Are we booking him?" and picked up the radio to report a lie in a calm, practiced voicemail. Black suspect assaulted an officer resisting injured. I sat in the back seat, plastic, hard and cold, and I didn't scream, didn't kick because I knew the playbook. I'd studied it, fought it, argued about it in meetings where people pretended it was